Good. We're going to go live. So we always go live on our Lead Up for Women page for anyone that isn't able to attend. And then, we'll have ladies popping in here over the next 5 minutes or so. But we'll go ahead and get started. That way, Theresa's got enough time to be able to talk to the ladies that are, here about her subject today. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, great. All right, ladies. Hello. Hey, Jerry. How are you? Welcome to our Teaching Tuesday. Hello, Francesca. I haven't seen you around in a while. It's great to see you here, darling. So our Teaching Tuesday is an awesome platform. Why I love this platform is it spotlights our members individually. It gives each one of our members the opportunity to come forward, teach their genius, share tools and tips and tricks with you. But make sure you also put your information in the chat so the other ladies that are here can get to know you. And I encourage everyone, if you can, please turn on your video. I always think when you're on Zoom and your video's off, hey, Francesca's like, hey. When you're on Zoom and your video's off, I picture it like, someone speaking on a stage and someone just turns their chair around and faces the back wall. It's like so hard when you're a speaker and you're just looking at a whole bunch of screens and no one's looking at you and you can't feel any energy. So let's make sure we respect Theresa as much as we can today. Give her all of our energy because I'm so appreciative that she's here to talk to all of us about, are you an audience all-star? Like, are you an all-star as an audience? Are you an all-star as a speaker? Are you an audience, an all-star when you're in the spotlight? There's a lot she's going to be teaching you and me today that I'm very excited about. So we are going live on Facebook. I do this live in our Facebook group so that anyone that isn't able to attend or the time doesn't work out for them, I get emails every week about, I missed it. Where else can I see that? So I'll be sure to send Theresa all the links as well. It'll also be on our YouTube. And I can drop that link in later. I think I have it somewhere. I'm on another computer again today because of issues with my computer. But yeah, there's always a replay. And so let's go ahead and get started. For those of you that don't know me, which everyone in the room does, I'm Colleen Biggs, the founder of Lead Up for Women. I'm super excited about having Theresa here today. We've done a lot of work together and she's absolutely fabulous. So Theresa, take it away.
Thank you, Miss Colleen. I'm so excited to be here. And I wanted to really tackle this topic for quite some time. And as many of you know, I do know most of the ladies here. I'm a public speaking trainer and mentor. And today I want to talk about audiences. And that may seem a little odd for that topic to come up from somebody who teaches about speaking. When I teach about speaking, we always say it's all about the audience. But today we're going to take it from the audience's perspective, what you should be doing as an audience member and how you can support the speaker and how you can stand out, but in a good way and not be, that person, because we don't ever want to be that person. Oh gosh, here they go again. So I'd like to start out. I'm just going to say Zoom to address all of the virtual platforms. So let's talk a little bit about what do we really like about Zoom? And please unmute and feel free to answer.
You can network in your pajamas.
I like the fact that it's become a fairly ubiquitous platform. Like no matter what web conferencing technology you're using these days, we call it Zoom, just like we call these things Kleenex, even though this is Kleenex brand, this is technically a facial tissue. Sorry, I'm a nerd.
Don't be sorry. You're not.
You can be international.
We
call
love
it
you,
a
Francesca.
jacuzzi. And jacuzzi is a brand, but when people are talking about a sauna or something, they say it is a jacuzzi, not a whirlpool, right? So yeah.
Exactly.
I love the fact that it can reach to all states and
Countries.
across the world. I love that. I've been able to tap into a lot of other beautiful women and help them in different countries and in different states because there's no limit.
Mhm.
Right. How would you have ever met them if we weren't doing this, right?
Right,
Right.
right. You can travel without moving.
That's
And
probably
you
a
can
big
have
thing for me now.
wine. It's all about wine, right? Some
Yeah.
nights and not
It
have to
is.
worry about driving home.
Exactly.
Yeah, the time savings in between for me has been just a game changer. So I can speak in a different country without, India. I spoke at India one evening. That morning I was on two other podcasts. I held a virtual event, plus I spoke in LA on a stage virtually, all virtually. That's a busy day for being in a lot of different places, but I used to travel to conferences. So when you think about that, that could be a plane flight plus having to have a rental car plus a hotel. The savings of money is huge. So a lot of savings, and a lot of time savings and money savings, I would say. Yeah.
Yes.
And the whole, you can be at home and at work at the same time. So you don't have to rush back to meet the school bus because you're already there.
Also, you can wear your slippers and you can wear your fun leggings or whatever you want to wear. You could be comfy on the bottom and nice on the top.
I'm wearing my
Okay. Go ahead.
Is Annie wearing her pajamas? Is that what she said?
slippers.
Slippers.
Slippers. Yes.
I still have my workout pants on.
I'm barefoot. Yeah, I
I
don't.
I
wear
am
shoes in the
barefoot as
house.
well. I am, yes. Anything else you all can think of?
I think also you can actually see people too. It's kind of nice. Like for me, I can't see that well. So if I was in a big, stage with a bunch of people, you can really see the expressions on people's faces when you're on a Zoom platform.
And
Yeah,
speaking
those-
of,
When their
Good.
camera's on.
Sure. And the lights aren't in your eyes unless you want them to be.
Yeah.
and speaking of seeing, Tracy brought up a great point. We can screen share. So there's no more turn to
Yeah.
page 5. We're on page 10. Stop reading ahead, damn it. No, like this is the information that's on the screen. Focus.
Yeah.
I
A lot
also
of great
like it.
points.
Right.
And
So
also
like
you
it
can
because it is
share.
convenient. It's convenient. I'm in the car right now. I was driving. I had to pull by the side of the road and say I have to attend the meeting. So I like Zoom because you can have it wherever you are, and it is convenient. It is saving. Instead of traveling, as Colleen was
Sure.
saying, you can have it miles away.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Oh, and
Yes.
you don't need to hire an AV team to do a recording.
That's great.
Love
no,
it.
That's true. You can run a huge 3-day event. My very first day, we had a bunch of technical issues with the AV person I hired. My very first day of that event, we ran the whole day off of one laptop because we had so many issues. We just bailed on everything else and put a laptop there and still ran a big event. So you're right, the power of that. And I've been using Zoom for about 6 or 7. Well, no, I'm going to say probably about 8 or 9 years now, because I needed to use it with all my clients that lived in Puerto Rico and Canada and all these different states. We didn't have a budget where we would talk with them every day or do Zoom calls with them. I mean, every week. So I wasn't flying out to see my clients every week, right? To meet with them. I had clients all over the United States and in other countries. I would fly to them once a year, but I had weekly meetings with them on a regular basis through Zoom. So we've been using Zoom like this to connect with people in board meetings in corporate America for many, many, many years, right? And how you see other teams, that you're meeting with, and not just, it hasn't been just since the pandemic.
Right. Yeah, it's been around for a while. Absolutely.
Another thing I was going to mention, it's easy to like sell something or do lead magnets because it's easy for people to click when you put it in the chat versus people having to go somewhere and actually access whatever
Yes.
you're offering.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. What about, we have more options with what time of the day we can meet,
Yes.
Mhm.
right?
good.
We're working with people in different time zones, which I know we talked about people in different countries, but different time zones. So we have a variety of times we can meet, which again goes back to the idea of convenience. Okay, now I'm blocked and I can't see my, there we go, what I'm typing. Meet at different times. And what about if you want to meet right away? When we were doing that in person, or maybe we would do a phone call, well, now we can hop on Zoom at any time.
Yeah.
Right? Anything else you all can think of?
Me, can I go, Teresa?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you see my backdrop right now? Sometimes it's, I can change my backdrop depending on which company I represent, because I have 3 different companies I'm building, right? So I can be, hey, taxi, and my backdrop can tell you, even if I'm not talking about it, that we have a business builders boot camp that's starting tonight, October 26th, right? We have taxes and tequila coming up. That, and I don't even need to be talking about it, but you're seeing it and you're thinking about it, right? Or I could have my coffee shop project backdrop, which is completely different. It's me and Sitges in the Mediterranean. Like, so I can be that, and I can use the backdrop as a sales tool. I don't enjoy in-person networking. I'm awkward. I love speed networking. I love getting on Zoom and meeting new people and having it go like this. And it's harder to do in person, like control, like, okay, 5 minutes with these 3 people, okay, go. But, I love speed networking. And I don't ever want that to go away because it's like my favorite. And I had another I love that you can, not only can you share your screen, but you can whiteboard. Like you have a whiteboard, you can actually share. Do you know on Zoom that you can actually share right from your phone, like whatever you have on your phone? You can do an app on your phone and be sharing that on the screen. You could be sharing pictures from your phone. You have a whiteboard that you can do. It's so, okay, I think there was
Oh
one
my
more.
gosh, that's amazing. And I did not know that. And I also love breakout rooms.
Me too.
Wow, Dawn, I got to talk to you about how to access that. That's huge.
Well, I actually did a whole Zoom training, and it's near the end of the training, how to like basically broadcast from your phone right to the how to use phone on Zoom. It's not hard. Like, it's really, really not hard at all. There's
Dawn
3
can
steps to
teach
it.
you.
I can.
Dawn will put her information in the chat. You guys just need to reach out to her. She can
Yeah.
help you with it.
Okay.
Okay, so
One of the things that I wanted to just jump in and say is that 10 minutes ago, I was with my students. I'm a full-time professor. So one of the things
Yes.
I like about us meeting on Zoom is I can quickly respond to them when they have a panicky email, and then I can click on and I can be here. Whereas I wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for the fact that we're meeting on Zoom.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. All right. So we agree there are some wonderful, wonderful benefits of Zoom. And as Francesca said, we're just going to call it Zoom instead of virtual platforms. And my question, so we have this new way, well, it's not so new anymore. We've become very accustomed to conducting business on Zoom. And we are most likely doing it from home. And that was the other benefit, right? There's a safety component to it as well, because we're able to distance because of the pandemic, or maybe we're not feeling 100% on any particular day. We can still potentially get on Zoom, and other people may not know that you're not feeling well, as long as you're able to get up and function and be presentable. Okay. My question for you is, have we gotten too comfortable on Zoom? Have we gotten too casual on Zoom? How many think yes?
Okay, I haven't. So I'm
Yeah.
just going to say right now, I run
Right.
Zoom all day long, all the time. I have not gotten too comfortable on Zoom because I have been using this tool for so long that I literally don't wear, like, I have jeans on, you know, I get ready every day, my hair, my makeup's done.
Yes.
And I'm just on, it's just how it's like going out in person and meeting people, but way more convenient for me. So I utilize Zoom very respectfully. That's just me and
Yes.
how I've always done it, because I've always worked with clients over Zoom. So for me, no. Other people, yes, I've attended a lot of events where people are just, I get it if you're driving in the car and you really want to be there and you're just listening in. I've done that on many calls with people.
Yes.
But it's rude when you're right. They're like, I don't know. There's a lot. I'll let you guys all do that one because I don't want to get started.
So again, I'm not, and Colleen, you are going to show up as an example in several of my examples that I show. But
What?
no, it's good. No, it's good examples. No, because I have never, I don't think I have ever seen you without your hair done, you know, without coming on to Zoom and looking like you're ready to go. Now,
thank you. One time I was in Mexico. Yesterday I had a call with my clients. I was in a sweatshirt, so I wasn't like totally to the till. But there was one time I was in Mexico and I did a call with my clients in the morning, and I had like a sundress on and I hadn't put my makeup on or anything. So I was like, you know, we were out in the sun all weekend. But that was probably the only time that I felt really bad when I went back and watched the video. So that'll never happen again. I learned my lesson on that one. So I did do it once, so it's not good.
So, okay. So for the rest of the ladies, because we know Colleen has been doing this for a very long time, and I'm not saying you personally, but do you feel like we as people who are working on Zoom a good chunk of our day, do you think we're getting a little too casual, a little too comfortable, and maybe pushing those limits of what really is considered appropriate on Zoom?
I think there are some people that absolutely do that, but I'm definitely one that shows up. I have my home office and I literally get my purse and get my keys and I unlock my door and I come in here and I shut the door and I leave at lunch. And then I lock myself out as if I left the office at whatever time so that I cannot go back in and ignore my family. I mean, I have a system so that I don't mess that up. But yeah, there's some people that absolutely do that. And I can say I've done that a couple of times, like Colleen, because I'm like, you know what? Oh, I forgot. Or maybe it didn't connect on my phone and my computer. And then my phone didn't show the appointment. And I'm like, oh gosh, you know. And so then, yeah, I kind of bombed a couple of times.
But I've also showed up at the office, like back in corporate America, and literally forgot to put my eye makeup on or something that day. Like somehow I got thrown off in 1 second of my husband asking something that messed up my routine. And I got to work and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I totally skipped my makeup this morning. What was I thinking? I mean, that happens, you know what I mean? And then you just have to embarrass when going in meetings and stuff, but it happens. I mean, it happens. We're not perfect.
Right. You know what? And it makes you human when it happens. But for those folks who, I don't know if they're clueless or if they're being deliberate, but they show up and they want to be perceived as professional, but they look like somebody's old aunt and, you know, just in from gardening. And, you know, why am I supposed to take you seriously when you look like that? For those times when you don't really present, it's also good to have a professional photograph that can go up instead of just your name. You know, so those kinds of things can help when you really don't feel like being on camera, but you should always be aware that, you know, this is a public face, not a private face. Just because you're on Zoom, you're in public.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm also streaming, you know, I'm also streaming to other members and people to be able to watch this later, and people will find these videos later. And just real quick, Theresa, I'll share a story. My son is a financial advisor and he manages a lot of individuals. And when they went to the pandemic, he would have weekly Monday morning meetings that they had to meet in the office. They would all meet on Monday morning. They all had to be at the office, be in this conference room and meet. And it was like their strategy for the week. When they went to Zoom, no one would turn their cameras on. And he was like, what am I supposed to do about this? So he contacted, HR to say, like, what are the this is a different situation, right? What are the protocols? They have to be ready, dressed in the office in this meeting every Monday morning, but now they don't have to be. So help me understand what I'm supposed to do here. So he came back on and said, those of you that have your camera off, I'm just going to assume you're not paying attention and you're not listening. And that's what my assumption is going to be for this meeting. Boom, 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 all the cameras come on. And he said, you are not to be in bed. You're not to be, in your pajamas. This is a work thing. You're supposed to be up and ready for work. This is the time you're supposed to be working. So there was only one HR call after that someone turned off their camera. And I don't know how that got approved, because if you work for a company, I don't know how they would say, no, it's okay. You don't have to turn off the camera. Everybody else does.
And that clearly would be something you could do as manager of your team or the boss. When we are the speaker who is trying to get people to work with us, clearly we don't want to be that harsh.
Yeah. And did you know that Zoom has a feature? Do you guys know that? Zoom has a feature that you can click that says, do not show someone that has their camera off. So it will only show, like right now, Damara wouldn't be showing, Monica wouldn't be showing, Evie wouldn't be showing. We wouldn't even know they were here until they turn their camera on, and then they would pop up. So you don't have a bunch of blanks sitting there, with their cameras turned off. And I've done speaking where I swear it was 80% cameras off. And that's the hardest thing to do. It really is.
It
It's
is.
like talking into a black hole. It's just like, it sucks. It just sucks your energy. It's horrible.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit more about how we're showing up. I have my notes here, but we're jumping around a little because we've got like some really great ideas and conversations coming out. So let's talk a little bit more about how you're showing up. And like I said, Colleen has been a great example, really, since I met you sometime last year, I think a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, whatever it is now. And I've never seen you without your banner behind you or put together. Now, for the rest of us who aren't quite as glamorous as Colleen with but like some of us are not makeup people. I don't wear a lot of makeup to begin with. And then with the pandemic, I stopped wearing it. And now I have problems when I put it on my eyes itch. So I think I have some kind of reaction to the makeup now. So I'm not saying when you show up that you have to be, like you're ready for a magazine photo shoot or something like that. The idea is just you are presentable. You are somebody who can attract people to work with you. You look professional. And basically, we need to be putting our best foot forward. And I think somebody had said camera ready or something earlier in the chat. Now, here are some things that I personally have seen. And please give me a wave or a shout out here. I have seen people, yes, in their pajamas. I have seen people horizontal in bed, in their pajamas for a networking event.
Nah, no way. Come on, that is not.
Yes, head on pillow for a networking event. I have recently heard of somebody checking in, I'm assuming it was a man, without a shirt on, checking in at a registration without a shirt on. Yeah.
I had a friend tell me she runs a huge networking event, and she said, look at Dawn. She has a mustache because you can apply. Yeah. And lipstick and everything. And but no, I heard that a guy attended a networking event without a shirt on, and I was just like,
right. And I don't know
if we did it, everyone would love it, but
right.
Guys do it.
We'd have a lot of men clients, and Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know what his brand is, what he's selling, but I don't know that that would be something that would attract people.
Even if you're a bodybuilder, I could see wearing a tank top or something like that. But,
Right.
and I've seen that, but no, that's gross. That's gross.
So and before
wear
I show
clothes.
any of these examples, please know I am not trying to embarrass anybody, make fun of anybody. I have like disguised them with the Zoom sunglasses and crossed out their names. If you know them, please do not say, oh, I know that person, or put their name anywhere. You don't tell them that they were used as an example, but maybe you could share, some suggestions with them. But again, I tried to pick some different groups outside of Lead Up, but I know that we do cross paths a lot. So I do want to show an example about making sure that we are dressed. Yes. Let me see if
I think that's very important. I mean, again, I think that what it comes out to be is the title of this is, Are You an Audience All-Star? So how do you want to show up? How do you want people to see you when you walk into a live room that's even not on Zoom? How do you want to walk into that room? How do you want to look when you walk into that room? How
Right.
do you show up for your family, for your community, for your business? How do you show up? That says a lot about a person, period.
Well, isn't it all about your first impression? I was
Yeah.
always taught the first impression is the most important one. So
I saw the hair. I was like, is that Mary?
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I am not here.
No, I'm
I
looking
am
at
not the
Mary's hair.
police.
She's
I'm
got
not
gorgeous
fashion
hair.
police. I'm not hair police. I'm not makeup police. I have no room to talk about that. I'm not sure what her brand is, what her product is. I can tell you, I noticed her because of a lot of the other things she was doing during this particular meeting. And I can tell you, I am normally on gallery view when I am at any type of event for the most, I mean, I don't want to say for the most part, but every once in a while I do go on gallery view because I like to see how the audience is reacting to speakers. So I don't want it to be like, oh, Creeper Theresa, look what she's doing. She's trolling for examples of things. No, I'm watching for reactions to speakers. So, again, I don't know what this lady's brand is, but what it comes down to, what I would ask you, and my tip really is to ask yourself, would you leave the house like this? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where she lives. I don't know. Maybe she's in the tropics somewhere. And then I want to show you some examples. Like I said, I didn't want to make it all about, oh, look at what people are doing and, let's all be judgy. That's not what I'm trying to do here. So again, I know some of you can recognize yourselves.
Heck yeah. Girl, look at those glasses. Those are the best.
Yes, yes. And then of course we have Colleen, and she has her banner. She has her area back here with the different things that support her brand. She looks like she's ready to go, professional. Now, would you say these ladies all look professional? They've shown up. They are looking well dressed, or dressed appropriately.
There's
just
Jay
ready.
Reed.
What's that?
There's Jay Reed right there. Oh, that's
Yeah.
Lori. Oh, that's Lori. It looked like Jay Reed. That's Lori. Yeah.
Yes, that's from our book club, Colleen.
Yeah.
That's
Dawn.
book club.
There's Dawn.
Yes. So,
It looks like everybody's well lit too.
right.
Someone said, of course, they're lead up women, right? Like attracts like. So,
They are lead up women.
right. So that's why I probably
Right?
haven't seen any naked men in my group, or naked women, because
oh my gosh, I heard a story about that. Some lady was saying there was somebody online and her naked husband literally walked behind her. And I was like,
Yes.
oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Thank
Yes.
God I wasn't on that.
oh, that would have just been awful.
And you hear
Terrible.
stories about that. I have seen that. I've seen like the guy walk. I mean, he had on bottoms, but you know, he was
Oh,
walking
it
around.
happened
with
to
other shirts.
newscasters that were doing it, you know, on news to millions of people. Yeah, that was the best part of going into the pandemic, I think, for everybody. It was
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So let's talk a little bit about when you should be off camera and what else are you doing when you are on a Zoom,
Oh, yes. Let's do
right?
that.
Mm,
I'm going to tell you, I talked to a woman who I have seen on a couple of calls, not in this group, some different calls, and I always see her photo up. And we happened to have a one-on-one and we were talking about that. And she said, oh yeah, I really like to log on there and I like to listen in. And, you know, 2 weeks ago, I was helping a friend paint a bedroom, but I was listening in.
Mm.
I also like to work out when I listen in there. And, you know, I'm not on camera because I don't want anyone to see me, you know, doing my arm weights, things like that. So my question is, as much as this is convenient and we can be at home and doing things, when we are focused on other things, are we really getting the value out of that event? Are you providing value to that event? Absolutely not.
You know how many times I've watched people, even in my own private client group, you know, when we're having like a meeting or whatever, I watch their eyes and I can tell they're returning emails and their eyes are just
Right.
moving all over the place, right? And I'll call them out and be like, well, I'll ask them a question, they don't answer. And I'm like, hey, stop returning emails and come back to us. But that could happen in a room if you're at a conference and someone has a computer in front of them, they could just be working away. And you're right. I guess the biggest question is, why did you even show up if you're not going to show up? Like, why you're not present? So I think that's a big word today that we need to focus on. Are you present in the meeting when you're there? You are spending your valuable time to gain something from this or give input on this. Are you present or are you returning emails? Are you, you know, how many times have people been on their phones and all of a sudden a song starts playing or so, you know, and everybody hears it. Go ahead, Francesca.
I was just gonna say on the flip side, you know, life happens and we have kids that run into the room, dogs that run into the room, hopefully not naked men that run into the room. You know, I'm located in a physical office. My office phone is right here. And I would just love to emphasize from a respect perspective that if I need to take a client call, no offense to anybody in this room, I'm picking up that phone because those are my clients and that's what's going to build my business. But that's when you will see me not only be on mute, but you will also see me go off camera because I don't want to show you the disrespect of
that would be the same as being in a networking room and your phone go off and you just pick it up in front of everyone versus like back yourself out of the door, go into the hallway, have a conversation, come back into the room. That's essentially what you're doing. And that's the right etiquette. Like that is the right etiquette. Of course, sometimes a phone call will come through. It's putting yourself off and on mute and video to take the call and not just sit there on the call or eat or blow your nose, unless it's a lunch where you're all supposed to eat or drink wine or
and that's where I'm going with this too is when it's appropriate to be off camera. And you know, we see that some of the ladies here are not on camera, and obviously if you're going to eat something like eating a meal, unless you're all eating, but you know, it's kind of awkward to be when you see yourself eating, put it that way. So if you need to eat, if you need a bio break, please, you know, just leave it here.
Don't take it with you.
Exactly. If you're going to move to a different location, it is really, really distracting because that background moves so fast. If you're walking with your computer or your phone, it's almost like, woo, it can make people sick, like motion sickness. So what I say, if you need to temporarily go off, and Francesca, the other one was actually, if you have to take a phone call, yes, go off camera if you're taking a business call. The other thing I would say is when you are going to attend an event, to block out that time and make sure you're not scheduling appointments for that time. That's different than a client calling. So we want to make sure that we are blocking out the time. I see you, Dawn. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure I'm covering, because this is such a great conversation. Oh, so what I wanted to say is if you have to go off camera, it is best to then just cover your camera instead of using this stop video down here, because it puts you sort of back into the queue away from, it moves your position and it moves everybody. And what's nice is when you, well, Dawn, let me go to you and then we'll talk about that some more. Dawn, what you got?
I wanted to finish hearing what you had to say about covering your camera. I never thought about that it moves your place in the queue and switches everybody around and makes it like, so so you're saying take a Post-it note.
Yeah, or they have camera covers.
Yeah.
Or take a Post-it note or one of those little flags that you, sorry,
Right.
I do not like when people put their hand.
Well, what I was thinking about was it, like, I get it. I get being there, being present, but it also, for me, depends on how much the speaker actually needs me to be there for and interacting and be present, whatever. Because what if, there's 300 people and I'm trying to, it's a whatever info call or something. There's 300 people there and I'm trying to cook dinner and there's no way I can cook dinner and be on the call at the same time, right? There's no way. I have to get dinner done. I want to be on the call. I want to hear at least most of the information that I can, but I'm going to get dinner done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's times when if it's 3 or 4 people there and you're pulling that, like, that's not okay. But if there's 200 people, the speaker is speaking, they're not counting on you to be engaged, interacting. It's more like an outward sharing of information versus an exchange of information. I don't know. I'm just putting it on the table to see what other people think.
Sure. So that I can agree with that to a point. So when it comes to supporting the speaker, yes, if there's a huge crowd there and most people are on camera, they probably don't.
They won't see you because
they
they'll
don't
see
see
only
you.
49, and then the pages after that go to the ones that don't have their cameras on are always the last pages. The cameras
Right.
on are the first pages. Yeah.
But Dawn, as part of showing up and being seen, we want people to be able to see us and know that we're there to connect with them. If you're off camera the entire time, now I get it if you have to step off for a little bit, but let's say you're off camera the whole time, they don't get to know you. They'll just see your name and they're like, hey, what the heck is Hey Taxi? Okay, well, that lady never showed up. I don't know what she's about. But if they saw your background, they would know and then might say, oh, I really wanted to learn more about that boot camp she had behind her. Let me reach out to her in the chat. You can reach out privately. The point is, we want people to see us so that we look professional and can still attract business, even though we are in the audience. You also want to make sure that that host sees that you are there and you are supporting them. So let's go back to covering your camera for a moment. The earlier you log on, the closer you are in the boxes up to the host or the speaker. So when they share their screen, and typically you can see like 4 boxes, you'll still be up near the top where they can see you. If you just cover up your camera instead of going off and coming back on, right? You'll stay in your same queue. I like that word for it.
I think that's only in the actual host's view, because for the rest of us, in our own little Zoom rooms, our image tends to be up at the top.
Yes,
because it's our computer. But
yes,
for
you are correct.
I'm probably not right next to you. I'm probably down at the bottom because I came in kind of late.
Right.
Yeah, and Teresa's not a host. I'm the only host. So
Okay.
people are moving around. She's not a co-host or a host. So people are moving around based on if you turn your video off, the like what she's talking about. So yeah, especially if they're sharing a screen, you always tend to be at the top. You're right next to the
Right. And then they can see you. And I will tell you that
I
I'm not
just
the
tried
only-
turning my phone, I just tried covering my phone and you just see black.
Right. Because you covered your camera. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But if I stop the video,
It shows your name and it moved you. It moved you for
Oh,
the rest of
okay.
us.
Right.
It moved you for the
Okay.
rest of us. But like Mary said, for you on your camera, you're going to be up near Colleen because it's your camera or because it's your computer.
Right. And those little camera covers are a great promotional item if you ever need to add something to a swag box.
Yes.
They're great. Yeah.
Oh,
My
yes.
computer comes with one, but they're awesome. And I know a lot of people that buy them on Amazon and stuff because they privacy when you're not using your camera.
Right. So I want to share with you though about when there is a host and they're watching, gang. They're watching who's around. Now, again, not in a creeper way. It may be a team member that's kind of monitoring who's here, who's not. I will tell you, it was a 2-day training and I went off camera. I turned my camera off to have lunch. And we had come back and I was off camera and I'm eating lunch and I keep getting the pop-up. The host is asking you to turn on your camera. And I kept saying, ignore. 3 times they came back to me and said, please turn on your camera. I finally sent a private message to the host. I said, look, I'm eating lunch. I will be back on camera when I'm done eating lunch. It was like, what is the deal? But they're watching who is engaged, who is showing up every time, because those are the people that stand out to them. So it is really important, as much as we hear people say, oh, get on camera. And we're like, oh my gosh, I just wanted to listen. I didn't really want to do too much. It is so important, even if you're just listening, and make sure that you're present and paying attention. I
would like to make the personal request to not blow your nose on camera, only because I have a thing for that. And when people blow their nose in my presence anyway, I generally walk away because I just can't. I'll start gagging and it just drives me crazy. Like, I don't understand why people do that in the middle of restaurants and not go to the restroom. But that's a personal thing I have that no one knows about me. So when they blow their nose, if their mute's on, it's way better. But everyone blows their nose a little differently. So just turn off your camera, do your personal business that you need to do, and turn your camera back on. Because
Absolutely.
not everyone wants to watch, I'm just being
exactly.
real.
Yes.
And but I drink shakes, right? And take vitamins on camera. And if that bugs someone and they said, please don't drink a shake or take, I can't watch someone take pills, I would make sure if they were in the room, I wouldn't do that, But again, the blowing the nose thing on lead up, just so everyone knows, that's a big pet peeve of Colleen's. You can do it in any other event I'm in, just don't do it on mine. Oh, Francesca, she's got her Kleenex.
She's ready for it. Okay. So I have a bunch more information that I want to share with you, but I wanted to get to this example as well, with how you're conducting yourself as an audience member. Let's talk briefly about the chat. So if you have your host or your speaker invites you to post things in the chat, that is the appropriate time to post. If you have not been invited to post anything, please do not start using the chat when someone is speaking. That is the equivalent of being in the room with them and talking as they are speaking. It is that disruptive. The other thing, please don't feel the need to share your expertise. People came to hear the speaker. You may have something that or could potentially add to that. However, please do not compete with the speaker and what they are sharing. I was teaching public speaking class, and I had somebody chime in and say, oh yeah, you can learn that at Toastmasters. And I'm thinking, everybody just paid to be here, including you. Why would you talk about someplace else you could learn what I'm talking about? But I've seen many people are,
hijackers.
Yeah, they share resources. They will share, you can find that here, you can find that there. Well, I appreciate the fact that they are trying to be helpful. It is disrespectful to the speaker because they could have potentially paid to be there, or they certainly have prepared to be there. So we don't want to be disrespectful and, like Colleen said, hijack the presentation, because as we all know, the thing pops up every time somebody puts something in the chat. So please really think about that. And of course, you want to respond to the speaker when they say, hey, put in the chat. Or as Colleen had said at the beginning, post your information. But just be careful that you are not being disrespectful to the speaker. Dr. Helen.
Actually, Helen is fine. I find that sometimes I go to Zoom meetings and there are one or two people who persistently through the entire time are putting in chat information about their business, their company.
Yes.
And I find it, for me, bothersome and offensive. What are your thoughts on that? Like, to me, it's like, is that what you showed up for, to keep telling people
Right.
about your business?
Right. And there are people who are there who show up strictly to be takers, that just want to promote themselves and are not really there to collaborate, meet anybody else, potentially work with other people. I will tell you the example I was using earlier about the person who was working out and just listening in. When we spoke, I had suggested to her that she finish out the programs that she had invested in before she moves on to work with somebody else. And big surprise here, ladies, you know what's coming. Oh, I haven't invested with anybody. So she was showing up to get the free stuff anywhere she can, and then pushing out her own stuff to promote herself. Yeah, Mary.
Yeah, the Zoom is can be like any other networking event, and there are always going to be folks there just to pass out business cards.
Yes.
So that's part of it, is understanding when it's appropriate to pass out a business card is when you are told or asked that you can put your information in the chat. And if people say, just put your name, your business, your email, and your phone, then that's all you should put. Don't put in the whole description of every service you offer. So, yeah.
Yes, I agree.
The other thing is that unless you are particularly with speaker things, because we all have gigs coming up, right? That we would like people to come and attend. But if you're at somebody else's gig, you don't publicize your own unless you are told it's okay. Or if you want to, you can private message someone and ask if it's okay to post, and they'll let you know, but don't just put it up there.
Yes, absolutely. I was at another event where I had paid to be there. I was a sponsor. I was a speaker. And I had somebody who was active in the chat, and she had posted, I have to hop off now to teach a masterclass in speaking. Thanks. Thanks. How rude. It was crazy. It's like, do you understand what you're doing here? I just think that
we don't care if you
poorly.
gotta hop off. That happens a lot. So by the way, etiquette on that is you don't need to announce it to the entire room, especially a big event where there's like 200 people there. Oh, sorry guys, I gotta go. I gotta go meet a client. I'll be back later. No one cares. Just get off, go meet your client, come back later, and You don't announce it in the room. You don't go to the front and grab a mic and say, excuse me, everyone, I've got to step out for a couple phone calls and appointments, but I'll be back and I'll see you all then. Think about it like in real life when you're meeting and physically, what would that be like if every time a speaker was saying something and you had a comment to say about it, and not like comments that we're making today, but a comment that would drag them away from what the speaker was saying, right? That would be like standing up in the audience. Oh, excuse me, standing up and then addressing the audience, looking
Yes.
at them and talking to them about you, and what you have to offer and pulling people away from the speaker. We would never do that physically. So why would we do it on Zoom, right? Think about if you wouldn't do it in person, don't do it on Zoom.
And that is the big takeaway for today, is to treat the virtual like you would in person. Would you do this in person? That's a good rule of thumb for anything we're going to do on Zoom. Tracy.
Okay, I wanted to mention something because I love the chat. I love when people make comments and affirm. So are you saying we shouldn't do that? Because I love it when someone shares something and it like, because like typically in person, I would be like, yes, like I'd be like nodding my head and I would like be there. And so now I'm kind of like, okay, should I not say anything? Because I think it's kind of affirming people.
Yes.
Saying.
I don't think she's saying that. And I'll let Theresa speak to it.
So
She's not saying
we have to realize that little chat notification comes up or the number starts to go up. And as people are, let's say they are affirming the speaker and then other people are chiming in, it's kind of building up, and your audience is seeing that instead of now listening to the speaker. They're like, oh, what's happening in the chat? So it can be a huge distraction for the audience members, and it is not supporting the speaker. You can do the affirming comments toward the very end or when the speaker is done. That is my suggestion. As somebody who is a speaker and who teaches people to speak, and we're all about the audience, we love that you are that in tune with what we're saying. But again, in person, would you be like, yes? You wouldn't be doing that.
maybe I would actually. I think I would.
Well,
Yeah,
you might.
people are like
Sometimes you
raising their hands
do.
and saying,
Right?
preach it, Theresa.
But
Like,
not with
Yeah.
every point. You might get to a point of, yeah, I'm with you, but not every point. So you understand how it could be a
Sure.
distraction for your other audience members. It could be a distraction for the speaker as well.
So
I've had that happen with it at a meeting where I'm a local politician, where we had an angry resident and we were on Zoom and he would I was trying to talk and I could see the beginning parts of angry comments, and it was
that's a whole different meeting. Chat should be turned off or something.
Exactly.
Like that.
Yeah.
Residential HOA stuff.
The lesson was learned after that. The administrator turned it off, but yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I think what Tracy's saying, I kind of agree with her with some things where you're like, yeah, preach it, Theresa. You're right. I
Right.
do that a lot in the Teaching Tuesdays. I'll repeat what you say to put it in the chat because I'm wanting people to see it in the chat and affirm and reaffirm and really, push what you're saying. I think the biggest thing that bothers me is when people are just dropping in their information of, hi, I'm so-and-so, and here's
Right.
all my links and come find me. And, but when you're actually engaged in the conversation that's happening right there in the moment, and you're backing up the speaker and saying things, and you're not having an off conversation, but really
Right.
backing up the
And
speaker.
Not
a
where it's a
different
conversation
thing.
with another audience member. Yes.
Yeah, I like
Agreeing
that.
with the speaker is different than, hey, yeah, Dawn. Yeah, you're right, Dawn. I agree with you. La 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 la. Yeah, that's a very different thing.
Go ahead, Mary.
I was
wrapping up
going to
here.
say we've got the little reactions button down at the bottom
Yeah.
that a lot of people don't know. That's how you raise your hand and stuff. But it's also a way to like show some love or
Yes.
do a thumbs up without interfering with the chat.
Yes, I agree. It's a good one. I have two more things. I would love to show the examples, but we're getting short on time. So two more examples. The first one is, I had my screen on gallery view and I could not figure out what the heck this woman was doing. And I just kept watching her, and she was watching herself on Zoom is what it comes down to. And she was posing and smiling. And I thought, this is so bizarre. Yeah. Well, not quite like that, Dawn, but there was a lot of.
Oh my gosh.
And so people, I don't understand, but again, as we said, it's a public, people are watching, people can see you. I don't know if she realized people could see her. The other thing, when you are the speaker, we always want to look out to our audience and look for a friendly face. And a lot of times when people concentrate, they get a very serious face. I know I do. And as an audience member, we need to be aware of that if we're concentrating on what the speaker's saying, we might not have a very friendly face. So I suggest be aware of that and then soften your expression. I talked with somebody who is an established speaker and I was talking about that and she said, oh, you're so right. Oh my gosh, I look at those people and I think they're ticked off. They don't think they're getting value. They're never going to buy from me. And they're the first people that reach out because they are so intent and listening to what the speaker is saying. So as a way to support the speaker, if you're really, really into it, try to soften up that expression so that they know you're supporting them and that you're not ticked off and like, oh, what am I doing here, right? So that was the last point I wanted to make. Again, I had examples to show you. The other thing is my two big takeaways. Treat them like they are in person. Would you conduct yourself like that at an in-person event? Second thing is show up. Do not buy tickets or register for things that you either double book yourself or you're never going to show up or you're relying on recordings. Are you really going to watch those recordings? I don't know about that. Block out the time and make sure that you are showing up.
Great advice, Theresa.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
All of that said, like I said, I had so much more to share with you. Very quickly, I have a class coming up in November. It is virtual speaking opportunities as a continuation of the virtual platform. What you need to know from start to finish. And I will put that link in the chat. And then I will also drop it below the Facebook information when that.
Thank you. Wow, you guys, wasn't Theresa great today? This was a good conversation. If anything, some of us got some stuff off our chest that just pisses us off that people are
exactly.
doing. Sometimes we need to get that out there too. But honestly, it's how you show up is how you show up. Treat other people exactly the way you want to be treated. Be respectful of their events, their time, their Zoom rooms, because I want people to be respectful of mine, right? And that was all great advice. Thank you so much. And thank you for offering for us to be able to come to that virtual speaking opportunity that you're having. I think that's great. Next week, ladies, we have Sophia McMorris. She's teaching all about how to take control of your life and creating the life you love. So we all want to create the life we love. Where do you not have control of your life? I could probably name 2 pieces right now that sometimes get out of whack and get like, you know, it just gets the best of me. So how can we be living the life we love? I'm dropping that link in there for you guys right now to be able to have. Don't forget, if you want to save anything that are links that have been coming in here today, make sure you guys click on the chat and save it. You're going to want to save that. As always, we do go live in the Facebook group. So if you miss one of the Teaching Tuesdays, it's not a worry. You can just catch it the next time around. Sound good, ladies? Well, thank you so much, Theresa, for all your advice today. We really appreciate it. It was amazing. It was a great conversation. I love conversations. And ladies, have a phenomenal week. And remember, I have something in front of me. I just want to say, imperfect equals I'm perfect. You're human. You're going to screw up. Other humans are going to screw up too. Let it go and move on. It is what it is. You know, shows up naked. I don't care. Get a laugh out of it. Move on. Right? Just don't go to a room where someone's naked next time. That's what I got to say. Live and learn.
Exactly.
All right, ladies, have a wonderful week. We'll see you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Colleen. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everyone.